Hello and welcome back. I am Mondef, of course, and I am back on the Utopia Feed the Beast server, and I'm having all kinds of fun. Of course, as always, we're going to quickly go through a few of the things that we've done since last episode, because we have been at work here around the base. First thing, we looked at this last time. I haven't done any more work in here. Let's see, Mally has been working on tree breeding, and she recently just got this tree. This is the winch tree. I might be pronouncing that wrong. I like it. It's got a very neat colored plank, which... Do we have any wood for planks, Mally? Yeah, she's like, yeah. Yeah, there you go. It's really neat. It looks really good with ebony and teak as well. So they all kind of share the same tone. They're just kind of different colors inside of that gradient. So it's a neat color to have around. Alright, so that's neat. Palm and I, mostly Palm, although I helped, went to work on this thing a little bit. People were asking what these are. This is a reappearing block. They come from the Twilight Forest. When you right click on them, they all disappear. You can see they leave their little core left, and you can walk right through them. And then after a little while, they come back. Once I found out and learned about them, they quickly became my favorite kind of door. So you can do three-dimensional doors like here. This is a 2x2x2, and they work great. But this is what Palm built, but we shouldn't start in here. We should start up there. We have, for a while, and you guys may very well have seen, down there used to be a chamber. We've torn it down now. But there used to be a chamber with a box, just a very cheesy, cheapo zombie shard farm. So we've moved it up here. This is the tier 5 zombie shard. So we moved that shard up to here, and it's hooked up to a wireless receiver, which is, of course, holding it in the off state right now. And the lever is down there. We'll play with this for a minute and show you guys how it all works. But what'll happen is they spawn, they fall down into this little chamber and get pushed into this thing. This is a grinder. And it grinds up the mobs that come into it, and that grinds them into a few different things. It spits the zombie flesh out, which we don't want, so we're just picking it up and throwing it into a void pipe. And then it also creates this stuff here, which is liquid mob essence. You can see its internal buffer is full as well. It does take power, which we're providing through the Tesseract, which this is Mally's signal. So it's coming from the power tower, power tesseract into the grinder, and the liquid is going into here, this is Palm's signal for liquid mob essence. And this is just in our Tarchic gate set to always pump out. So, liquid mob essence, you go, that's kind of a strange liquid to have. Why would you want to use liquid mob essence? Well, we come over here to this chamber. I'm going to jump in here, get flying. And we're using this thing right here. This is called an auto spawner. An auto spawner uses mob essence and power in order to create a mob. And so this works like a regular spawner. It has a normal 4x4 radius as far as we can tell. So we have a traditional room in here, but instead of just redstone, which would hold a shard off, which is also required in the same state. So this is redstone with the on state, the powered on state. Holding the auto spawner off. It also requires liquid mob essence, which is coming through Palm's Tesseract here into it, and it also requires power, which is coming through Mally's power Tesseract here into the spawner. So the only thing that this is missing, I'll grab from over here, is net. Not a nay, a net. There we are. Safari nets. Safari nets let you catch mobs, and once you've caught a mob, then you can move it and put it down somewhere else. So I'm just going to do a boring one, a cow here, for demonstration purposes. Alright, so you catch up a cow, and then bring it in here, and you put the cow net inside of the spawner. Whoops, I didn't mean to put the cow out of the spawner. Come back in. Put the net in here, and then with the net set in the machine, flip the lever. It'll use mob essence and power to create I said da 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 da. Did Palm make a change? That all looks right up there. Is the machine in sleep mode? It might be. These machines that go to sleep in order to save the server loading time. But they should have woken up by now. Let's take a look here. Come on, get out of the water. There we go. So they have this natural sleep. Maybe it'll spawn when this sleep runs out here. There it goes. Now it's running operation, so it has a long sleep reset. So there you go, spawning cows. I'm not a noob, I just thought it was done sleeping already. Okay. So now we're spawning cows. Now we can sit here, right here. This isn't 100% the most efficient way to, you know, gather resources per se, or run this as a system. So it does take a lot of Minecraft Joule power in order to operate. And it's not as efficient as a tier 5 spawner. But what we're using this for is for creating tier 5 shards. So let's go ahead and turn this off and empty it out. And we'll reset this so Palm isn't wondering why there's a cow in there. So we're using this in order to create shards. So we'll just go catch one single mob. So we catch one, say, witch, for example, or one creeper in a net. And then we bring them in here, and we bring a shard with us. We let 1,000,000 of them spawn, kill all of them. Frame rate, why? There we go. Let 1,000,000 of them spawn, and then we kill them all off safely behind that wall. And we collect our tier 5 shard. And everyone's good, great, and happy. In that regard, Palm's been doing quite a bit of farming for tier 5 shards. We have now... I guess it's time just to show the inside of this. I haven't actually shown inside of here, I don't think. We have a whole bunch of soul cages set up. You can see we've got a tier 5 pigman. That's a witch, creeper. The creeper's wired up a little differently because I was using it. And we're not... This system isn't quite all wired up yet to be all great and automatic. In here you can see that's a tier 5 Enderman spawner. Tier 5 cow, tier 5 pigs. That one is skeletons, and this one is a second pigman, zombie pigman. So, yeah, that's coming along. That project's coming along great. Now, I told Palm that I would make a program here, which will act as... Oh, why? I'm getting a little bit of lag here, and a little bit of frame rate issues. So I told Palm I would write a program, which I haven't started writing yet. This will act as a control panel to operate this system. So, coming along, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty neat project. I'll walk you through that program. I know you guys probably don't want to see programming on screen, so I'm not going to do that on screen, but I'll show you the program concepts as I write the major components of it, because it will be kind of a larger program. If you guys want any part of, or the entire program, let me know as I write it, because then I can just put it up on Pastebin for you. You can copy it from Pastebin into your own computer, craft computers. So yeah, okay, I think that's all we've done. So today, get inside of here, I have a fun new toy. Mally put together all the stuff for it, but she's letting me do the honors of hooking it all up. Ba-ba! Matter fabricator. It's a pretty expensive component, but once you have access to the end, you can get sheldonite from the end. So you can fly around and collect sheldonite, and then you can process that into iridium, which the first thing we're going to use it for is the matter fabricator. So, bonk! Matter fabricator, awesome! And she's set up a number of other pieces that we're going to need. Some glass fiber cables, an MV transformer, and an MFSU. Don't get me YouTube. See, I no longer need the cow safari net or the beef for the leather. Alright. So, we're going to hook this into power. I haven't shown setting up most of these machines that are in here. So my EU system we've looked at before. We have lava, and we have this coming from a pump in the nether. Eventually we'll move that into a multi-pump system sitting on a frame machine in a Mistcraft world, but we don't need that yet. So basically we're considering this lava to be infinite lava, and if we have to actually make it infinite lava later, we can, but for now it's as good as infinite. And it pipes down back behind this wall. This wall is all just a sketch project to kind of get a basic layout set up. So we have a basic layout. We've got some geothermal generators, which, yeah, we could upgrade into thermals, which we may do eventually. We may do that soon now that we've got a matter fabricator. This has always been producing way more power than we'd ever need. Here you can see I've got one MFSU fully charged, and then an MV transformer and a low voltage transformer. All my low voltage machines are on this side, and all the medium voltage machines are on that side. We don't have anything that takes high voltage right now, but, you know, whatever. So what we're creating here is a power array. So we have an array of geothermals right now that are creating power for us, and I'm going to create an array of MFSUs. So we already have one, so this will just be the second member of the array. And we're setting it up like that. And instead of having this point into the other MFSU, so saying basically this would charge that, I'm going to pump this straight into the MV transformer. Actually, I can't do that from here. I need to... getting a little bit of frame rate lags. Where's my MV transformer? I thought I picked up the MV transformer. I did not. Yeah, we've been getting a little bit of server lags. We were trying a new server configuration, and it just needs some polish. I didn't. Did I return it? Oh, here it is. That wasn't there before, was it? I don't think I'm crazy. I'm probably crazy. It's okay. Alrighty. So this is going to go right there, but face the opposite direction, of course. Like that. There we are. Now that's providing power from here to there, and this power will run probably only just the high voltage stuff, so we're just going to hook it up into there. You know, that might not be necessary. It might actually run through the medium voltage transformer. I'd have to test that. But, yeah, we put it there. It's not a big deal. Eventually, what we'd like to do is get all of the transformers off of here and run this straight as high voltage wire, which then we could run to various different machinery and down convert it where we needed it to be something other than high voltage, 512. So yeah, of course we need this to be able to charge too, which means we'll knock out this netherrack and replace that with a wire. So there we go. So now we can see the geothermals are running, and it's charging this MFSU. The reason we're adding a second MFSU is because we want a bigger backlog of power. Now, a matter fabricator will take basically as much power as you can possibly ever pump into it. So I don't want to hook up my matter fabricator on this side of the power, on my usage side, because if I do, it'll drain those MFSUs, and then we won't have enough power to run, say, this induction furnace, or, you know, over here, the industrial grinder. We only want extra power going to the matter fabricator and not all of the power. So there are more efficient ways to do what I'm about to do, but I'm going to go ahead and do this the easy way. I'm going to hook this up back here. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm not on the usage side, I'm now on the production side of power. So the geothermals will run, and when they need to charge the MFSU, it will charge. Given it'll charge at half the rate that it is currently charging, because half the power will be running into the matter fabricator, but it'll still charge the MFSUs. The MFSUs can still output power. And then if we find that these MFSUs get drained because we're running processes or things like that, then we can add more geothermals. Or upgrade to a thermal or whatever, however we want to handle that. But I'm going to go ahead and put this down right here, like that. And I'm going to hook it up with just regular fiber optic cables here, just ba-bam, like that. Now the matter fabricator can handle, this outputs at 32U per packet, and it can handle much bigger packets than that, but it can handle these small packets too, and there's no loss to using those smaller packets, so there's no reason that I should, for example, put an MFSU here, since the matter fabricator will always keep it drained as it is. So there's no point to increasing the packet size. It'll start charging its internal buffer. Of course, we need scrap here. So I need to go get myself an item tesseract. I don't know if we have one sitting in storage here. Energy, darn. I think there was an extra tesseract sitting over here, and I don't remember what kind it was. Let's take a look. Actually, that's an energy tesseract too. Right? Yep, energy tesseract. Alright, so I need to craft myself an item tesseract. So I'm going to do that. The production chain's a little bit arduous, so I won't bring you along for the ride. I'll see you when I've got one ready. Alright, I've got myself my item tesseract here. Item tesseract. And we're just going to hook this bad boy up. There are probably better ways to do this, but we're going to move this generator, or I'm sorry, matter fabricator somewhere else. Anyway, so for now, I'm just going to plop this right here. There we are. And I'm going to hook this up to the Scrapatron 2500 frequency, which should start filling it with scrap. And that filled it into the wrong place. So I'm wondering if this needs to go on top here. If it does, we'll rewire here. I'm not sure where the Greg Tech wants this to hook up. Let's pull that out, make sure we're cleared. Yep, that went in over here on the recycle side. This is where we want UU matter to show up, not scrap, even though they are the same shape. Yeah, so yeah, that's, scrap is going in. Great. And you can see it's 3% of the way to a UU matter, which is awesome. So we just need to wire this up differently. So we're going to take that cable back. Gimme. Perfect. And we're just going to wire like that. That's easy. You can see now it's running again. And yeah, so this will be slow. I mean, this isn't a huge power source, but if we add geothermal generators, we can make it run faster. And we have plans to run this a different way anyway. So yeah, that should do us. And let's see how this is doing on the charging. Yeah, it's going all right, 900,000. Now keep in mind, because right now packet requests are being sent to the generators from 2 large sources, so basically half of the power is going into each one. Because the way EU works, it's not exactly half, but it's close enough. And once the MFSU over here, once this fully charges, and we have a full charge on the MFSU, that will basically double the power into the matter fabricator, which is great. You can see the Scrapatron is providing plenty of scrap here to the matter fabricator to keep it filled. I don't think we're gonna overuse this scrap. Now, if I had connected a pipe between these two, then it would pump out. Once this filled, it would continue to pump out of the tesseract, and then I'd get scrap flopping on the ground. And that's why I didn't use a pipe, and I probably will never use a pipe for this system because of that. I don't want scrap falling on the floor. I don't want to waste scrap like that. Other people can use the scrap or get prices at this Scrapatron building at Spawn. If you don't know what building I'm talking about, I didn't do that in Utopia. I did it in my 2500 sub special, so you guys should check it out there. It's a pretty neat little machine. Alright, so that is done. The guy's hooked up. We're going to start getting ourselves some... falling. Go back up. Here we go. Start getting ourselves some scrap, which will make UU matter, which we can make into iridium or diamonds or whatever we decide that we need it for. It'll probably be for iridium for quite a while. Alright, what else should we do? We should do this guy here. Are you on? You're not on. Okay. Let's see here. Let me start this up here. Monitor right. Comment display. And this is episode 11. Here we go. Here we are. Really Sealy II says, there's an easier way to put a cap on your cobble. This is in reference to my void ender chest. And he says, use a pre-formatter on a 1K drive to limit it to only cobble, or whatever other else you wanted to use it for. Put it in an ME drive with the highest priority in the network, higher than your other storage device drives, so like 5 million or something, really high. And then use the ME storage bus to put all the excess cobble in an incinerator, or any block that destroys them, like a void pipe or something like that, and set its priority to something in between cobble storage and other storage. For example, 1 drive per item you want to put a cap on. 1 ME drive per 10 items is about what storage. This was some other items, bus per 96 items, right? Okay. I mentioned this because I got a lot of comments about this storage system, this voiding system, and there are a number of other great ideas, all of which would work. But I went this route specifically because I thought it would be the easiest way to put a maximum cap on my storage and to basically ensure that it would never go over the cap. And if it ever did, for any reason, it would pull it out of the system and void it. And there's a good, there's still a good purpose to that. And for some things like rotten flesh, or let's see, I think sticks, 13,000 sticks and rotten flesh, this is a great way to manage that, because then, like, if I came in here and I put in rotten flesh or something like that, it would pull it out and void it. But for these major blocks like these, I actually agree with you, Sealy II, that is probably a better way to do it. So I have made an incinerator. This is just a lava bucket surrounded with cobblestone. The incinerator is an interesting little device. I've never played with it before. I've seen it worked with, but I've never actually played with it. It doesn't have an interface, so you can see, you can hear me right-clicking, nothing. Has no interface, which makes me wonder whether or not it even has an internal inventory that the ME system can interact with. So, we're going to need a bus. Let's see if we have any. Nope. Okay. Let's see, we're going to need an export bus. Do we have any in this chest over here? This has some random ME parts in it. Nope, but we might need that. So we'll take that. Okay. We have one of those already in here. Okay, we need a cable and a piston. We should have a cable in one of these. No cable, so we need a cable and a piston. One cable, and I actually made a whole bunch of pistons the other day because I was tired of like crafting them one at a time, so I made like a whole stack. Alright, top one, here we go. Cable, piston, and ME export bus. And what I'd like to try is exporting directly into the export bus, like that. And we're going to use rotten flesh because we have tons of it, and we have the ability to get tons more, so I'm not worried about what happens if we run out of rotten flesh here. So if this works right away, and it pulls all 79,000 out of here very quickly, I'm not going to be hurt about it. But I do want to make the number even, so let's put 2 down. So we have exactly 8,000 in the storage system. We're going to program this export bus to export rotten flesh, and we're going to see if there are still 8,000 in here. There is not. It is actually, this does actually work. That is excellent news. And we can have it move stacks at a time. And there it goes. That works beautifully good. So you can see one export bus here, we'd be able to store 8 different items to void. But of course, we don't want to pull all of the rotten flesh, because they are used in some recipes, and we might want to have, I'd say, about 2 stacks of them laying around. But regardless, that's not a good way to do 2 stacks. It is, however, a good way to do cobblestone, dirt, and netherrack. So here's what we're going to do here. We're going to need a 1K drive. Let's see. 1K drive. You've 700, 1,000, you're full. You're the emptiest. ME 1K storage drive, and we are going to put you in the I/O. And we want to transfer data into the network, empty the drive out. There's not enough storage space to empty the drive out. That's not good. Not good at all. Well, we have a bunch of marble, a bunch of... Alright, let me surf through here and see what I can get rid of, so we can continue working today. This will take me a minute. I do need a little bit more storage space. You know what? I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to craft a whole bunch of 1K storage drives. I think I'm going to make 10 of them, so I can fill this drive over here is totally empty. I'm going to fill this entire drive with 1K storage drives. So I'm going to make 10 of these. I'll be back in a sec. Alrighty, I've got myself 10 1K storage drives, and I'm ready to get to work here. Now, the reason I'm using 1K drives is because I kind of arbitrarily picked 8,000 as a number. 1K drives will let you store 8,000 of an item, just a little over, which is fine. But I am going to disconnect this entire system. I don't want this running right now. I am going to keep this because, again, I think it's useful for, say, keeping 2 stacks of rotten flesh. Something where I don't want to use a whole drive dedicated to that object, but for like cobblestone and things like that, I think this is a better solution. I'm also going to pull... I need to leave this drive in here for now, the one we already pre-formatted. But let's go ahead and grab a piece of cobblestone. There we go. So we can format one of these drives into be cobblestone. So format, and we'll call this cobble. Like that. And make sure it is formatted so that it can take cobblestone. And that's it. That's all this drive is going to store, is going to be only cobblestone. And I'm going to stick this in my empty drive over here. Pre-formatted cobblestone. And hold shift and right click. The priority on this I'm going to set to be much, much, much higher. I actually don't know how high this can go. Let's go ahead and set it to 2,000, just so I know it's, if I need to go over 2,000 for some reason, I don't imagine that I will, I can keep that number in mind to know that this will need to be changed at that point, but I don't see any reason why I'll need to go over that. So basically this says now set to highest priority, and I'm going to use this IO to transfer into the storage cell all of the cobble. So we're going to fill this with cobblestone, or basically pull all the cobble out of the system, so we should see that at 0. We put this drive into over here, cobble, into the drive. There we go, all of our cobble's back. It's all sitting on that drive. And if that drive ever gets full, then it's going to go to, after checking the storage priority 2,000, it'll now go to the next lowest number. And so what I'm going to do is jump down here, and I'm going to make the next lowest number, which will sit... I'm actually going to go ahead and remove 2 of these and put this right there. And we're going to have an export bus here to the incinerator. We need a little bit of... I'm just making a little platform to stand on here, so I'm not having to fly around and be all twitchy. Okay, there we are. Into the incinerator, we're going to use an ME export bus, just like that. And we're going to tell this to only be active with a signal, since I don't want it to be on quite yet. Cobble stacks of items at a time, and I'm going to grab the Omni wrench. Shift right. I made an Omni wrench by the way. Oh no, that didn't at all do what I wanted it to do. Huh. Oh, that's behaving like it's bizarre. No, there we go. Do I need to use a different type of wrench on you? Crescent hammer? Nope. Can we not set priorities on these? I guess export buses are like basically always output at full speed, huh? We're gonna need to use a router. Oh darn, using a router. Right? Shucks. You can see I've made a whole bunch of routers because they're amazing. So yeah. Actually, I'm not sure that a router will work. It should. It won't recognize it as an inventory, but we should be able to use... Well... should be able to use the ejector command to do that. But it'll need an inventory to pull from. Alright, I'm going to need to pull together a few things. So I'm going to need a couple upgrades for the router. Make sure it runs at full speed all the time, because I don't think I have any upgrades pre-crafted here. No, I don't. Okay, so let me craft a few upgrades and a couple devices. I'll be right back. So I got the router and the router upgrades ready, and then I came down here and I was like, wait, I don't need a router. So yeah, no router necessary, because you can just go like that, right? At least I hope, right? Yeah, this should just connect to there. I didn't mean to throw that on the ground. Yeah, this should just connect into the interface here and be good to go. So yeah, storage buses don't have red power options, so I'm going to configure it in its entirety before I connect it, because I don't want it just starting to throw random things into here. The only configuration we should have to do to this is to set it just below the storage bus with the pre-formatted drives. So we're going to set that to 1 beneath it. And now, if we connect this, that should be running. Now, the only way to really test that is to start throwing a whole bunch of cobblestone in the system, and to seeing if it stops at, well, stops at the drive being full, right? Stops at this drive filling up. So let's start throwing a whole bunch of cobblestone in there, I guess. Right, we'll just go ahead and, you know what, I think probably the fastest way is just go ahead and break that and hold this open and just do this. Just go ahead and throw all of this in there. Be faster if I got rid of all of that, probably. There we go. Let's go and pick up all this stuff. So that's a whole bunch. That's a bunch of stacks of cobblestone. There should be more than enough to fill that drive up. And let's see how it behaves here. That drive's full. You can tell by the red dot there. So that's full of cobblestone. If we come around here, this should only be about 8,000, or a little over because of the way the drive's format. That should now be empty. It's not empty. So something happened there in the middle. There's 3,000 cobblestone somewhere else in the storage system, which we don't want. So, oops, I didn't mean to do that at all. Well, I don't want it to do that. Let's go and just throw it in here. So it sorts it where it's supposed to go. So that probably went onto this drive here. I don't know why it would do that. This is set to 256. Yep, that's where the cobble was. You can see the cobble is now down to 0. I'm going to throw the cobble drive back into the high priority storage. So there's the cobble drive. That's the high priority storage area. And I'm going to try to empty this drive. That's going to make a complete mess of things. That's a bad idea. What we need to do first is try to empty it of all of its contents. So let's see what's on here. We can't pull all the cobble out manually like this. That would take forever. But let's go ahead and throw cobble into the system and see if that goes over 10K. After the formatting, that's about how much you get onto those drives. So, and that's all on that drive, I think. Yeah, no, actually, it should be able to access this drive, which we don't want it to do right now. No, it can't because it's not attached to the storage drive. Okay, so 10,000 is all on that drive right there. So if we put this cobblestone in here, oh, you can see it dropped. Oh, it did drop. Yeah. Okay, so there's 8,128 pieces of cobble. If we put a stack in, 8,128. So that's exactly how we want that to behave. That is perfect. So the rest of the cobble is now going into through that storage bus, being stored, quote unquote, in the incinerator, which of course incinerates it, destroys it. So that's perfect. It's exactly what we want. What we need to do now is get rid of the pre-formatted drive that I have. I need to get all of the other items on this drive that are pre-formatted to go on here. So I need to get a place for dirt, a place for sticks, a place for netherrack, and a place for marble. And that's what these drives are for. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of all of that, and this will be dirt. Format, so that net drive is now dirt. put this one back in just to get these back up here. And we'll do another drive here. This one will be sticks. Actually, sticks we're going to do the other way. So let's do netherrack. So this will be netherrack. Did I spell it right? I did. Format. Great. So we have netherrack and dirt. And marble is the last one. So go ahead and clear these out. I'll call this one marble. Marble. Did I spell it right? Yep. Okay. There we are. Now we've put these all in the priority drive space. Marble, dirt, and netherrack. This is our drive that has all of that and sticks on it. So we should be able to come in here now and say transfer data to network. Take this, empty it out. So that emptied out in its entirety. We'll reformat that here in a minute. And that should have put, see the marble filled. So there should be the exact same amount of marble now as there is cobblestone. And you can see there is 1,828. That's what those 1K drives store. Just over 8,000, which is how much I wanted to store those in the first place. So that is working correctly, which is great. It's fantastic news. Now how many sticks do we have? 4? Impregnated. We have 0 sticks now. Somewhere along the road we lost 10,000 sticks. Oh. Oh yeah. Did I program this drive? Come on. Give me access to this. I did not. Well, it's a good thing we found out that was sticks and not diamonds. Yeah. We gotta tell the storage bus what it can void. So, yeah. Too bad we lost 5 million, or however many we had, 12,000 or so sticks, but that's okay, because we only wanted about 2 stacks of sticks anyways. Let's see, the other ones we did were dirt, and netherrack, and marble. So give me some marble. Yeah, the way this has set up, if you don't program this storage bus here, this is probably the most important thing and would be a major mistake if I didn't catch this. If you leave this open, it'll put anything in there. And what that means is that it would put anything into the incinerator. So say you ran a quarry, right? While you had this not programmed, it would send everything from the quarry into here, assuming it didn't fit onto your pre-programmed drives. Considering your pre-programmed drives are the things that you really aren't really necessarily quarrying because of, like cobble, dirt, marble, netherrack, gravel, whatever else you don't want. That would be a major problem. So yeah, glad we caught that with sticks. And that's fine, we really don't need 12,000 sticks. If you're wondering, we got that many sticks by quarrying in the Twilight Forest, where the tree roots will give you sticks. So yeah, that's where all that came from. We don't really need that many sticks. We can always go to the wood planks and make our own sticks. Okay, perfect. I'm glad we caught that. Glad I caught that. Now, I need to come to the pre-formatter because I said we need to unformat this disk. And I wonder if this is how you do that. Let's see here. There's nothing on it. Format. Indeed it is. That is now an empty 16K drive. So that's ready to rock and roll again. So I think we're good to go. So the thank you, this is a great way to do that. I am going to go ahead and hop down here. I want to reconnect this, but I want to deprogram a few of these here. I don't want this pretty much running ever, so we're going to set this so that, let's see here. I only want one of these connected right now, so I'm just going to literally disconnect these, because I don't see any reason to power the cabling if I'm not going to be using the system. So let's go ahead and disconnect this one. There we go. pull out the cable. All I want running is one of these. This first one right here. I probably am about to reconnect these, aren't I? Let's go ahead and put it here. Whoops. Come on, place the cable. There we are. Like that. Right. That works, and then straight up. And I don't want that to connect yet. Yeah, it probably already ran. What's in here? What's this one set to? Marble. That's fine. Because I do want to set this one up for... what are they called? Rotten flesh. Yeah. We don't want tons of rotten flesh like we have. And I don't want to fill a whole drive and dedicate an entire drive to rotten flesh. So we're going to set this to rotten flesh. We're going to set it to, let's see here, 2 stacks, 128 of it, and export rotten flesh when the signal's active, so that should be running once we connect this. There we go. That should be exporting stacks of rotten flesh at a time, and down there we're pumping those extra stacks of rotten flesh into a void pipe. So yeah, I think there's a place for both of these, but for the mass storage, I do agree with you here. I forget your name. Sorry, hang on. Really Sealy II. I do agree with you. This is a better way to do it. So thank you for your help. This is why I love YouTube. You guys are able to help me out and come up with ideas I never would have thought of. Because, I don't know, there must have been like 6 or 8 different concepts that people had sent me for how to do this. And they're all great. I think they all would have worked. Without testing them, I believe they all would have worked. But I think this by far is the simplest. This is a fantastically brilliant way to do this. So thanks for the help. Keep sending the help, guys. Anyway, we're out of time for today. If you guys like this video, let me know. Either with a comment or with that like button. Either way, works great for me. Thanks for watching. I'm Mondef. I'll see you guys next time.